What's going on, guys? Munchback's TCG here, and today we're going to be doing another deck profile on a deck I've already profiled before, but it's going to be post-rotation this time. And that deck is, again, Quagsire Naganadel. Now, Quagsire Naganadel actually lost a lot with rotation. It lost Bush Baton, it lost Aqua Patch, Ultra Ball, Nest Ball. But it's still able to work, not as efficient, but efficient enough to where it's still on the radar. Alright, so let's get into it. First, we play 4 Wooper, same Wooper with Ram and Rain Splash. Now, Ram actually helped me with the math. I'm going to be doing a tournament report later on this week. I'm going to be uploading it. I've played this deck at 2 league challenges, and Ram for 10 actually did help me at one point for setting up numbers for Quagsire. So we play 4 Wooper, and then we play 4 of the Quagsire. And the Quagsire has Washout, where you can move any water energy from your bench to your active, and a Hydro Pump for 60 plus 20 for each water energy on this Pokemon. Alright, and then we play 1 Fighting Quagsire. Now, we don't play Onix anymore because Onix is just so much harder to get out of the active, with making it hard because it's harder to get enough energies on the field without Baton. And we play Quagsire now to do for Dark Box and Peak ROM as well, like we used to. It helps with numbers for Dark Box, and it helps with numbers for Dark Box, but it doesn't take knockouts. Now, we actually play a 4-4. We play 4 Poiples. I played 2 of each. Spit Poison is the only attack you'll be using on this one. Put 10 damage, or their active's now poison. And then we play 2 of the Eye Opener just to look at your prize cards. Now, Eye Opener is super good just because you can take a quick glance at your prizes. And it's super helpful for having to figure out what you have prized. Alright, and then, like I said, we have 4 Naganadel. Naganadel is one of the more important Pokemon in this deck. Charge up. Take 1 basic energy from your discard and put it onto Naganadel. And then Turning Point 80 plus 80 more if you're on 3 prizes. Now, this is where the deck is a lot different compared to pre-rotation. We play 3 Keldeo GX. Keldeo GX is super important because it's a wall. Not many decks that play stadiums only play maybe 1 or 2 power plant. So they can use 1 power plant and take a knockout on Keldeo, but they won't. If you replace the stadium, they won't have another way to get around Keldeo. That's why Abilities Art is so good too against this, because they have so many single prize attackers. And what Keldeo does is its ability Pure Heart, prevent all effects of attacks including damage done to this Pokemon from their GX and EX Pokemon. And then for Sonic Edge, this attack isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's active Pokemon for 110 damage. And then Resolution Blade is 50 times each of their bench Pokemon, so if they have a full bench, that's 250 taking a knockout on Pikarom. Next, we're going to go to our 1-ofs. We play 1 Volcanion Prism. This isn't as important as it used to be, but still super helpful. Check Geyser, discard water energy from your hand. If you do, bring up your opponent has to switch their active. And Sauna Blast for 3 water, 100 damage, and it does 20 to each of their bench Pokemon. It's a good 1 prize attacker, but you would rather be attacking with, say, Keldeo or your Quagsire. Next, we play 1 Dedenne GX. We're not going to be attacking with them, but we're only using them for his ability, Dead Edge Change. Discard your hand and draw 6 cards, and you can only use it once per turn. Now, Dedenne is super good in the fact that it helps you stay more consistent in getting cards out of your hand to find your supporters or find what you're looking for. We play 1 Ditto Prism. It's a 5th Wooper and a 5th Poipole. Just helps to set basics up. And then finally, for our last Pokemon, we play Magikarp and Wailord. I'm actually thinking about cutting this because it's just so much more difficult to get get 8 energy in play. I'm probably going to cut it for a Mew just because Tag Bolt's so good. And it can take out, say, 2 of our Quagsires if we have 2 set up. Now, going on to trainers, we play 4 Pokemon Communication. And what this card says is, reveal a Pokemon from your hand and put it into your deck. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So this is super good if you need a Poipole. If you need a Poipole to bench and you draw into a Naganadel, you can just Pokemon Communication away the Naganadel and grab a Poipole, so it's giving you another bench Pokemon. And so how we used to play Counter Catcher, that actually rotated, so we have no way of gusting anymore. So what we have to play is 4 Custom Catcher. This is one of the best cards in the format at the moment, and I believe they're like $9 or $10 each. And what it does is you may play 2 Custom Catchers at once. If you play 1, draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. Now that can be helpful if you're dead rolling and you need to find a supporter. You can Custom Catcher and just hope you hit a supporter. But if you play 2 at the same time, it's like a Lysander effect where you can get to bring up one of their bench Pokemon into the active. And that can be super good if there's a Dedenne sitting on the bench and you want to take a free 2 prizes. Or what I find myself doing is if they bench a Reshizard, if it's like Green Zard, I can double custom, bring up the Reshizard and take a free 3 prizes. Now we play 3 Mysterious Treasure. Mysterious Treasure says discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Psychic or Dragon Pokemon. We're going to be using Mysterious Treasure to find your Poipoles and Naganadels. And it's also super good for discarding water energy from your hand to be able to use for charge up as well. Alright, next we play 2 Pokegear. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If you find a supporter there, you may grab one. We play 2 of those just because this format's a bit slower than it used to be, so we have to have ways of finding our 10 supporter cards we play. Going on to supporters now, we play the classic Force Cynthia. Cynthia is shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. Pretty simple card, pretty super good. And then next we play 4 Lily. That's your more optimal first turn supporter that you want to be playing. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, but if it's on your first turn, you can draw until 8. So just drawing 7 cards can be super good and super helpful if you have 1 card in your hand. Next, we play 2 Erica's Hospitality. What Erica's does is, you can play this card only if you have 4 or fewer cards in hand. So if you have a 5 card hand and play Erica's, you can still play it. And it's draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So say your opponent has a full field of 6 Pokemon, it's pretty much it's the shuffle draw 6 like Cynthia, it's just a draw 6, which is super good. Alright, next we play 3, that's all the supporters and trainers we play. Next, our stadiums is Viridian Forest. Once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for basic energy. And what you want to do with Viridian is just discard a water energy. The best way to use it is discard a water energy, grab a water energy, attach the water energy you find, and then charge up. And that's all the trainers and Pokemon we play. Going on to energy, we actually play a bit more, one more than we used to. We play 3, 6, 9, and 11. And that wraps up the list. Some things I want to change. I think I want to cut the whale for a Mew. And I think you could cut 1 Naganadel for a Lure Ball. And what Lure Ball says is roll 3 coins. For each heads, you may grab 1 evolved Pokemon from your discard and put it into your hand. So it makes it easier to grab Naganadels and your Quagsires. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys have any more suggestions, I'm starting to run out of decks that I haven't made in person, so I might start transferring some decks onto PTCGO or going on Limitless and doing deck reviews on Limitless. Let me know what decks you want to see, and that's going to be it for today, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.